Hi everyone, welcome to Math 1351. I'm Kristen Foxley and I'm going to be your instructor this summer for the course. I'm excited to have you in my Math for Teachers 2 class, and I just want you to know how much I enjoy teaching future teachers. Because this is an online class, we won't have a lot of interactions with each other, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. You can still reach out to me by text or by email and feel like you have a professor that is supporting you. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the different aspects of the course. If after watching the video you still have questions, just shoot me an email or send me a text. Okay, so first of all, when you go into Blackboard, I want you to first pay attention to the class calendar and the course syllabus. Of course, the class calendar is going to show you all the different due dates, and it's going to show you when our exams are, as well as the final exam, and give you an idea of when the projects are due. And then you also want to pay attention to the course syllabus, because this tells you how your grade is determined. It also tells you just some very specific things about my course and how I've structured it. So first of all, let's talk about how your grade is determined in this class. Your grade is determined by 5 different things. One, it's determined by something that I call video notes. It's determined by your homework, 3 tests, 2 projects, and a final exam. So 3 tests, each worth 12%, a final exam that's worth 25%, homework that's 15%. Those 3 things that I just mentioned are all done in my math lab. The tests and the final are proctored, so when we go to take our first test, I'll make sure that I walk you through all the very specific things that you need to know about taking an online class in my course. But one thing to know right at the start is that you will need to have a camera on your laptop, because you're going to be proctored by a proctoring system called HonorLock. But again, I will walk you through that whole process, because I understand that can be very intimidating as we get closer to exam 1. The 2 projects are worth 12%. And they consist of a graphing project and a construction project. Construction project is using a compass and a straight edge to make different geometric shapes. And then the graphing project I think is super fun, because I love graphs and teaching students about graphs. You'll have assignments in my math lab, and then you have, again, what I call video notes. So let's talk about video notes in the very beginning, because that's the first thing that you need to do. So when you decide that you're ready to start your first assignment, you're gonna want to go to Test 1 Materials, and then in Test 1 Materials you'll find Lesson 1. Lesson 1 is on determining probabilities. So there are video lectures that I made that walk you through the lesson of determining probabilities. These are the lecture videos that I would give if I were in a classroom with you. So if you were in a face-to-face class of mine, you know that I use different handouts, and then as I'm giving the notes, the students are writing the information in their handouts. So what I've done for my online class is I have PowerPoints. So the PowerPoints are available as a PDF or as just the PowerPoint. And what you're going to want to do first of all is you're going to want to print out the PowerPoints. I would suggest printing them out maybe in 4 or 6 slides per page. You do have the option though of writing it all out, but these notes are something that you'll be able to use on your tests. So if you don't write out the problems and you just write out answers and things like that, they're not going to be able to help you on the exam. So my suggestion is to either print out the PDF or the PowerPoint, multiple slides per page to save you time. And then you can, or one other option is you could use a tablet. So what you'll do is you will, once you printed out your material and you're ready to sit down and listen to my lecture video on determining probabilities, you'll find video links within that first lesson folder. So you will be taking notes along with me as I'm writing it on my iPad. So you'll see my video and it's just like you're in my class, but you don't see me. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take the information down as if you were in my class. And then after you finish that, then you're ready to start your homework. And that's where you'll go to My Math Lab to access the homework for that evening. So once you've finished your video notes, you're gonna wanna scan them and you're gonna want to turn them into a PDF. I use Genius Scan. If you're using your iPad, you can just upload it straight from your iPad. But there will be a place in Blackboard where you turn in your video notes. Your video notes, just like your homework, are gonna be due twice a week. The video notes can also be scanned using Pages, I believe, or whatever scanning app that you find easiest. So you want to have them all in a single PDF. Don't take individual pictures of them. Put them as a PDF, and then you'll upload that document into Blackboard. All of your video notes that you turn in are the equivalent to 1 test grade. So right there, you turn in all your class notes, and you've got 100 on a test. Okay, so once you've taken your notes, then you're ready to start your homework. The homework is, again, using My Math Lab, so you'll find the Pearson link at the top of Blackboard in course content. When you click on Blackboard, it'll show you your assignments that are due, and it gives you a nice kind of user-friendly opening page so you understand what homework assignments you have now that are due and which ones are coming up. Each homework assignment for the first test material is already open. So if you are somebody that wants to work ahead and feel comfortable doing that, you can start and work ahead of time. All the lessons for test 1 are going to be open on June 2nd. Now they have different due dates, but you could start and turn things in early. You don't have to turn them in on the day that they're due. You can turn them in beforehand. So, excuse me. Start working on your homework, and with your homework, if you get a problem wrong, you can go back and ask for another problem. So you have the opportunity to make 100 on all your homework assignments if you are wanting My Math Lab to generate a new problem for you. There are due dates on the My Math Lab, so but late work is allowed in My Math Lab. So in My Math Lab, I've allowed it to take your late work on the problems that you haven't finished, and if you go back and complete them, then you only get 20% off on the problems that you didn't complete on time. So it's not like the whole assignment is 20% off, it's just the problems that you haven't completed that end up being a 20% deduction. So you have an opportunity, again, to get 100 on a test, basically, because all your video notes are equivalent to a test grade. And then if you have the stick-to-itiveness and the perseverance and the time to ask My Math Lab to generate a problem that you got wrong, to generate a new one for you, you could get 100 on all your homework, which is 15% of your grade. Okay, so let's kind of go back over those 2 things in the very beginning. So video notes, that's like taking notes in class, and it's how you learn the material before you're doing your homework. So step 1 is to print out the notes, watch the videos, take notes on the PowerPoint slides or your iPad or your notebook paper. But if you write it out on notebook paper, you have to write down every note and example. So it is a lot of writing, but it's writing that you have to do in a class too. You're gonna wanna make sure that you write out definitions, example problems, everything, because it's not gonna help you on the test if you don't have all the material there. Once you've taken down all the information, you've been in class for the day, then you'll want to scan the notes and upload them to Blackboard. So homework and notes are always due on Thursdays and Sundays. So again, you can always work ahead, but if they're late, then you will receive deductions. Okay, so right now I've taken care of the video notes, which is the kind of the most different part of this course, and then the My Math Lab homework. The assignments, there is a Help Me Solve button, and there's also sometimes an Ask My Professor. So both of those are resources that you can use to help you. If for some reason you're still struggling, just reach out to me and let me know. I've tried to include extra problems in my videos that go over some of the trickier problems that you might see in My Math Lab. You also have test reviews that will be taken in My Math Lab, and those test reviews and the final exam review are always going to be due the day before the test. I don't want you trying to finish up your test review and then take your test on the same day. That's too stressful. So your reviews are due the day before. Okay, so tests, again, 3 tests, each were 12%. You will be using the Honor Lock proctoring system, and as we get closer to the first exam, I'll walk you through the process. But when you're taking your test, you're also going to be working problems, because on paper, we don't work all these math problems in My Math Lab just because it's on a computer system. It doesn't mean we're working them all in our head. So after you complete the test, you will be submitting your work that you did, kind of like your scratch paper, but it's going to be more organized than what sometimes scratch paper looks like. So that is something that we'll talk about as we get closer to that first exam. Again, 2 projects, there were 6%, and I don't think either one of them is something to get stressed about. I think that they're fun math projects to do, fun for the classroom. So I think that is everything that I needed to share with you. So if I've forgotten something, please reach out to me. I want you to be successful in my class. You'll tell as soon as you get on Blackboards that I'm a huge cat lover. I also just kind of want to share with you that before I taught in higher ed, before I had kids a long, long time ago, I was an elementary school teacher. I taught 1st grade, I taught 2nd grade, and I taught 3rd grade, and I love them. And I'm currently teaching the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders at church. So I have a heart for kids, but I also have a heart for teaching math to adults. So I want you to be successful. I want this class to be easily organized, and I want it to be meaningful for you. I want you to leave this course thinking, I am a better math student, and